After show, but later.
The 757.
What's up, everybody? It's the After Show, but later episode number 150. No, not fuck. It's number 165. Number 165. We are here at your boys D and L Cuckoo. If you're brand new to the show, we're the only unofficial Covino and Rich After Show. So if you don't know about them, they're on Patreon Monday through Thursday and Fox Sports Monday through Friday. So check them out. I was going to tell you, if you're listening right now on the audio, you're getting the full fucking audio. If you're listening or watching on YouTube, I'm cutting out the bad words. So, or actually just right now, the F-bombs.
Really?
So, yeah, so check this shit out because YouTube won't suggest it to as many people and shit if you say like certain words.
Okay.
So there was a podcast I was talking about last week, but it's got a word in the title that YouTube will demonetize your shit, or not even demonetize it, but kind of shadow ban it where they won't show it to as many people. So I cut out those words, I cut out the F words, and we got significantly more views on it just by me doing that. So it's nuts, man. And it's super easy because what I'll do is when I'm editing it, I'll transcribe it, right? So I'll hit the transcribe little key.
Yeah.
And Doug, our whole like hour and a half, it'll transcribe it in like 30 seconds. And it's pretty close. So what I'll do is I'll type in like the word right? I'll be like, and I'll search and it'll bring up every time we said fuck, and it'll take me right to that part so I can cut it out. So the last
can you
episode,
create 2 copies for YouTube though?
Well, yeah and no. For YouTube, no. What I'm doing is the full audio. I have it for the audio streaming shit. But then when I have the audio for YouTube for the video, then that's when I'll cut that shit out. But what I did was guess how many I cut out of the last episode.
213.
You're actually close. It was like 236.
How many were you?
You know what? I was gonna do that, check both of us, but it was pretty equal, to be honest.
All right.
Because I was like, I'm going on a buttload of them. And then your thing though is what I noticed when I'm cutting them out is you say fuck here and there, but your go-to is motherfuckers. So there was a bunch of these motherfuckers, these motherfuckers.
Give myself a pat on the back for that one.
So you use motherfuckers more. And I use like, oh, this fucking shit. So if you're listening on YouTube, you're just going to hear a lot of blanks right there. But if you're listening on the audio, that's why we encourage you to not only watch the video, but listen to it because you get a different experience each time. So.
Well, and Covino and Rich, you hear a lot of Italian references and lingo and whatnot out here on the West fucking coast. We said this fucking guy, fucking guy.
Oh, there was who was that
guy?
Yeah. But yeah, man, there was so much shit going on this week. Do you have anything that you wanted to talk about right off the bat? If not, Doc, I'm gonna get rolling.
I do, and I want to go non-Covino and Rich real quick.
Doc, check this shit out. Look at how can I have it. I have all the shit right here.
Like you're taking your SATs.
I have all notes right here. Then I have extra shit I added right here. And then in this side right here, in case we have to cut shit out, I have timestamps that I need to cut out.
And you kept the template for future shows or what?
I did actually on my desktop at work.
There you go. Look at that.
Not that I typed this up at work.
It's all grown up. Look at him.
I know.
But no, I want to know. There's some shit. To me, I don't really put too much thought into it. I'm just asking this question based on public response. DeMar Hamlin, bro, is he cloned or not? Everyone seems to think he's a clone.
Well, let me go ahead and knock this shit off because I had that on mine. No, Doug, I think, you know what, though? I do think that part of all this shit with them having him covered up and stuff, I'm not saying it was like a plan on the Buffalo Bills end, but I kind of feel like it was a little calculated. I don't think it's definitely not a clone. I mean, it's what it is, but I think it was him. People are saying, oh yeah, maybe it wasn't. Maybe I think it was him. I think people are just making a story out of nothing. But what are your thoughts on it? What are you thinking? Why they did it? Is there any controversy at all? What are you thinking?
Well, for me, I think you said it best. Like, why would they cover him up? The human element is from religion to everything, to aliens, to everything. We can't handle shit we don't have the answer to, right? And I'm not going to get all crazy and jump to the conclusion to say he was a clone. I think that's a stretch. But like you said, like, why would you want to cover him up? It's not like you made it a point of telling us he was there. So obviously you wanted the world to know he was there. Why couldn't they see his face?
Yeah.
At any point, you know what I'm saying? Like that don't make no sense to me. So, I mean, I don't know if they're just trying to get trolled or I don't know. I don't know why they did that, but it was weird. It definitely caught people's attention. I'm not gonna jump and say that he's a clone, but it don't make no damn sense.
Yeah. No, I don't know. To me, I don't know. I think it was definitely a talking point. So, I mean, I guess if their plan was to keep everybody talking for a few more weeks or some shit, I guess it's working.
Well, think about it, bro. Even in the COVID days, like when it was still an outbreak and everyone was scared and we didn't know if we were going to die if we got it or not, you still saw people without their mask more than that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, see, Doc, that's the thing is that it wasn't even like a mask. This fool was like covered from head to toe.
He ain't Kanye. I mean,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. And so that's where, my curiosity sets in. It's just why, right? I'm not jumping to conclusions. I don't have the answer, but I'd like to know.
But Doc, this is why the clone theory is kind of stupid. If it was a clone, right? Let's say in some universe it was. Why are they going to hide him? Are they going to want to?
His face hasn't fully morphed into DeMar's face.
Is that what it is?
It still looks like a Sasquatch.
Oh man, okay, that could be it. Because I'm like, if they're like, you know what? Actually, I've talked to you about this on a previous episode where we were talking about the Paul McCartney conspiracy that maybe he died in the 60s or whatever, right? Okay. But they had that new Paul McCartney, if it was a fake one or whatever, out right away. So right. Wouldn't you want to do the same shit with this fool? Here we are, 50, 60 years later from when that shit happened. They had that fool out the next day if it was true. Now, so say this dude's a clone. Wouldn't they have him out like coming out of the hospital?
I'll tell you this.
So what's the clone theory? That he died in the hospital or what?
No, you know what my clone theory is?
Huh?
I think personally they did that shit because they were doing some other scandalous ass shit and all the internet controls were focused on this shit. I think it was the setup for the big maneuver.
And what do you mean by them? Who was?
Well, I don't know. Whoever one of the people, it almost seems like it was a deliberate attempt to get chatter and conversation going and attention focused on that.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't that big of a deal. He didn't have to go all crazy like that, even if he was trying to cover his face. I mean, he sent pictures of his face in the hospital. So what's the point?
I mean, FaceTiming, there's pictures, screenshots of that. Like, I don't get it.
I don't either. And so that's what I'm saying. Unless they were just doing that shit on purpose to distract us from something else.
Yeah. I don't know. You're right. I mean, I could see that happening. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know, Doug. I don't know.
I don't either.
But out here. It is, man. It's kind of hard out here for a pimp.
It is.
Let me see what else we got. DeMar Hamlin. Oh, you know what, Doug? One thing that Kavino and Rich were saying is that they thought it was so weird. I want to know your take. Are you team both of them or not both of them? Because they were talking about how they think it's so weird for somebody to brush their teeth in the shower.
I brush my teeth in the shower.
Same, 100%. I even have right here. Do you brush your teeth in the shower? Kavino and Rich thought it was weird.
Bro, it's the same water, number one. And number two, it's not like you're spitting the shit on the wall. I mean, normally, I don't know about you, but I lean over the drain and try to make it down the drain so there's no splatter because I know if it dries, it's going to leave white spots.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm all spraying white toothpaste slush all over the shower.
Like in Triple H when he would spit out all that water and shit, just in like a sprinkler. No, and that's the thing, Doug. This is what I think. I love to have like my toothbrush and toothpaste in the shower. First thing in the morning, get up, take a shower, brush your teeth. You come out, Doug, if you come out of the shower and you still got to brush your teeth, you're coming out of the shower, you're not completely clean, right? When you come out.
And I don't do it all the time though, bro. That's not my routine. I will not say that it's my routine.
That's mine.
I would probably do it about one out of every 25 to 50 showers.
Really? No,
Well,
not
I
me.
do it when I'm in a hurry because for me it's faster. Like I can just get in there as I'm brushing and getting going like this. The water's already getting my hair wet, so when I'm done with my teeth, I'm ready to apply soap. Because to me, one of the steps of getting in the shower is you got to get your hair and your whole body wet, so the soap will stick to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so what I'll do is if I'm in a hurry, I'll just start brushing my teeth as I'm letting the shower do its thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. See, for me, I like to, and that's not the only time. I'll have like, if I'm gonna go and get a wash in, I don't know, like, and say it's the weekend and I'm not working, and I'll come in and get a brush in between me, like cleaning the yard or whatever. I mean that, but that's my initial start of the day. You're coming out of the shower clean, your fucking mouth's clean, you're fucking 100%. I just feel like there's nothing fresher than coming out already. Your mouth's minty, you're fucking clean.
Mm-hmm.
It's dope. So to think that's weird, and see, the thing is
Well,
I'm not saying that that's the only way, because the other, whatever, cool. But to think that it's weird, I think is a little peculiar.
Well, for me, you in that 10 to 15 minute shower time frame, somewhere you should be brushing your teeth. If you want to think it's weird that people actually brush them while they're in the shower, all right, fuck it. I won't argue with you on that one. But you're either brushing them before you get in the motherfucker, or you're brushing them before you get out, or after you get out. Because my routine, so normally what I'm doing is I'm getting my coffee. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get rid of whatever happened yesterday. You know what I mean? I get up, boom, wash my hands, dry my hands, shave, get my little shave on, get my toothbrush on. As I'm brushing my teeth, get the water ready, boom. As soon as I'm done with my teeth, I hop in the shower. But sometimes if I'm in a hurry, like trying to hit the gym before work and I got limited time, I'll do that, bro. I'll come home and I'll just start the shower. You know what I mean? And while the water's warming up, I'll start my brush and I'll just finish in the shower while it's rinsing me off, because it saves me like a minute.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I completely dig it. I don't know, but to think it's weird, it's crazy. One thing that they did mention, what that they thought was kind of weird. I didn't think it was weird, but I just
weird.
I think, I mean, the last however many years I've had like some sort of facial hair, but they were talking about the people that shave in the shower. And Franz is one of the people that said he actually has a little anti-fog or whatever, the anti-steam mirror that he
see it.
And he if I was clean shaven, Doug, I think that would be the perfect time to shave.
Well, then you got to worry about the fucking hairs around your sink.
Yeah, and you're Doug, and you're in there, your fucking pores are open.
That's not a bad idea, Franz. Shout out to Franz. Look at that guy.
Yeah, I thought it was a good idea too, because I've seen they have like these steamless mirrors that have like a little suction cup on it. Boom, throw that bitch in there. And I'm even thinking about doing it just to clean up my shit here and there, Bro,
so, but think about it though. Like the nastiest thing around your sink is hairs from shaving.
Little hairs, yeah.
They're the hardest ones to get. You know what I mean? Oh, sometimes you got to get them with a toothbrush.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just think about that. All you had to do is be like, psst, just spray the shower wand. You know what I mean? You're good.
Yeah. No, and that was one where I was like, that one.
That makes sense.
I feel like if I was clean shaven, I think that'd be a go-to. Because you're what do you do? Maybe when you get out, if you don't say you don't have a mirror, like like Franz, just fucking clean up your sideburns a little bit, right?
Well, think about it. Even if you had to adjust that a little lower to trim your pubes in that motherfucker, at least it's in the shower.
And Doug, think about it. Put that bitch on the floor.
What do most dudes do? They sit over the toilet and hope they go down the bowl and then flush.
Yeah. Just right. Doug. Oh, that's one thing that, Doug Covino, I never laughed so fucking hard when they were talking. I don't think it might have been related to this conversation, but Covino was talking about, he said he stretches his sack so far, Doug. He said he stretches it so far so he can get all the wrinkles out and shave, right?
Oh, God.
So he goes, Doug, this is in Covino. He said he pulls it up so hard, he goes like this. And he holds it with his mouth, and then he
pulls what with his mouth?
His fucking sack. He said he pulls it up this high.
Oh, God, he's acting up.
And then it was just Doug. To see him act it out was so funny. So if you guys missed that, I think it was on like Monday show, or no, maybe was it Monday? I don't remember. But anyway, it was.
Hey, yo! Shout out, Big Steve.
Oh man, yeah. And there was. Let me see. Brush your teeth in the shower. Do you shave in the shower? Doug, there was somebody, and I'm not even gonna give this motherfucker credit because he's a little puto.
That
But
dude I was talking about in the chat.
uh
He's active, bro. I just hopped in there a couple times and he's
no,
active.
actually, no, it wasn't. It was somebody else. But they were talking about because Cavino had a Mexican word of the day this week. And the dude was like, "Oh, this is a hot take. That Mexican word of the day isn't funny, and like stop doing that segment or whatever. It's fucking stupid or whatever." And Cavino's like, he's like, people enjoy it, people hate it, whatever. He was like, but the point of it is usually it's a fucking stupid ass word, and that's what makes it funny. Is it's so fucking dumb that it's funny, right? But this dude was like, "Oh, weak content, and I think you're better than that, and all this shit." So I told him,
better than what?
Then he said it's recycled people's jokes or some shit. And so I told him, how about these Mexican words of the day? And it was some white dude. I don't think he understood what I said, but I said,
does he even have a? So hold on. So he wasn't even a Hispanic that was complaining?
No, it's the whitest dude of all time.
Yeah.
And I told him, well, these are the Mexican words of the day. I said, si no te gusta, vete a la verga y come mierda, or something. It was something to that. So
tell him mama la hueso.
And then he put SMD. I'm thinking he don't know what it meant. He just was like, "Oh, I'm guessing it's something negative." So here, So yeah.
What a idiot. You know what I mean? Well, Cavino been telling us for years, and I mean, I don't know who has their number 2 pencil and who's been paying attention, but he's told you for years that everyone's entitled to their wrong opinion.
Yeah.
And this dude's entitled to it, but he is wrong.
And this dude, Doug, and you know what? If it would have been coming from somebody who, I'm trying to think of, like a Franz, we mentioned Franz, right? Or a Mauser, or somebody who.
Oh, so he's not a respected Carl.
No, all he does, that's what I'm saying. All he does on the Carl page is talk
like
shit.
Bill Jackson?
No, it actually wasn't. Bill Jackson, usually on the Carl page is pretty cool. But no, this dude was just talking.
Kennedy?
All he ever does, if I said the name, you probably wouldn't even recognize it. So, but I'm not going to give that motherfucker any credit. So, so what I'm saying is,
fuck him.
All that dude does is fucking talk shit. And I'm like, this is what I don't understand, dog. If you fucking hate him so much, or you have your stupid, because all he does is talk shit all the time. Why listen, or why be a part of the, like you said, dog, you're like the snarls and shit. I'm not listening. I don't give a fuck about those people on the Facebook page. So you're not on it, right? This dude,
you know what? I care about some of them. I just don't deal. I don't care enough to deal with the bullshit.
Like those interact. Type of people, the one I'm saying.
Hopefully they'll come to our show and interact with us here if need be.
No, and the thing is, like, there's certain people that you figure, hey, for the most part, there's probably gonna be people that are fucking douchebags. I'd rather just not even engage, right? So you don't. Right. This fucking dude just goes in there to talk either about the show or about people on the page or whatever. So why are you even a part of it? Just off,
No, I agree.
So whatever, Doug. Let me see.
Apple Watch. Cavino asked if you could submerge it.
Oh, Doug. That, you know what? I don't know if this is a Mexican thing, but it might have been the first year I had an Apple Watch. I didn't even want to take a shower with it because even though it has like a swim mode or it has all these, you can.
I got questions.
What?
We just talked about shaving in the shower, being clean, and brushing your teeth. You can't shower with your watch on.
Yeah.
No.
Why?
Because you got to wash your wrist where it sits all fucking day.
Yeah, that's why you just take it like right here. I usually have it on the third or fourth one. Put it on the first or second one, right? Then when you're cleaning, you can scoot it up a little bit. Boom. Now the exposed part of your wrist, wash that off. Boom. Slide it back down. And, wash whatever. Keep washing. And then, boom, just tighten it before you get out of the shower. Bada bing, bada boom. You're set. Boom. And you got it washed under.
You better hope that motherfucker air dries quick.
Doug, you don't dry yourself off after the shower?
Well, how do you dry off under what do you go underneath the watch with the towel, do a little loop?
No, you might pop it off real quick, dry your shit real quick and throw it back on. It's no thing. My problem is
you don't have a stainless steel band then, do you?
No, mine's actually
like I'm not showering with that thing.
No, that's way different. No, my shit's a fucking like
what, you got the Rubbermaid?
Yeah, it's like a sport one.
Oh, okay. No, I got that one too. That's the Nike one, right?
Yeah, it's
With
a
the
Nike
holes
one.
in it.
No, this one doesn't. This is like an older but it was, I think, a Nike one for like sport or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't have the holes in it. But yeah, but this is made to like sweat through and shit and breathable or some bullshit. I don't know,
You know
dog.
what? I still got the original band. Maybe I'll do that. I'm gonna try that out. That's not a bad idea.
I don't mind it. But like, yeah, if you have your kind of
All
shit.
right.
Oh, that's another thing is that Kavino
What?
was talking about your watch and your Apple Watch being like like a fashion accessory. If you get a band like the one you have, dog, like and shit looks elegant.
Well, you know what? I got a Rolex, bro, and that motherfucker been in my safety deposit box for about the last 5 years. Because you know what? The Rolex ain't gonna tell me if I'm gonna die, right? The
Exactly.
Rolex does not detect irregular heartbeat, and so that's why I had to get the band because I feel Cavino and I want to rock that Rolex. I really do. But the one day you put that motherfucker on and shit, and you got some irregular going on up here, your Apple Watch don't catch it, and you croak. That'd be some fucked up shit. So for
I know.
me. I like my Apple Watch, but I will say this: he can wear it. I've taken mine snorkeling. I've worn my Apple Watch in the water many a times, and it never fucked up
Same. I've gone straight
except
up
once.
swimming and whatever. I've never
Except once.
except once it fucked up or except once you didn't wear it.
No, except once it fucked up. I took that
Really?
son of a bitch in the hot tub, bro.
Oh, why would
And
you?
I think
Yeah.
because of the heat, it never worked again. It fucking died on the spot. Every time I tried to charge it, the motherfucking shit would just be red around it, like it had this big old fucking red like ring. Like, remember back in the day with the Xbox where it had the ring of death?
Yeah.
My fucking Apple Watch, I still got the son of a bitch. It
Or
got the
that
ring.
the blue screen of death on your computers and shit back in the day.
Yeah, no, it's got the ring of death. That motherfucker just is like a red fucking blinky face, and that was it, bro. Don't worry, it never worked again.
Yeah, no, I've never taken mine in a hot tub. I don't think.
Don't.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I didn't have it because I did. I can remember one case, one time in particular, I did, but I must have just had my arms out for majority of the time because it might have.
Yeah, no, I took my shit underwater. That shit was hot as and it cooked it.
Yeah,
It
no,
never, it would never hold a charge again.
yeah. Dog, did you hear? Who was it? There was who was it? There was somebody talking about making weight for the UFC, and they were saying how now one of the big things is to actually get into like a hot bath instead of going into the sauna or like how they normally do shit.
Okay.
And this motherfucker was in like a heated bath or whatever and ended up losing like Bilal Muhammad.
Okay.
So that dude ended up losing, I think, 6 more pounds than he needed to. And he was bitching about it, but his coaches were like, no, this is like the newest thing. People are doing it, whatever. And he was like, no, I just want to sweat it out like a normal, like, and give me a running and in a sauna, or whatever. And they were like, no, do this shit. So Doug, he was in the bath for however many minutes.
My porn moves.
And
my shit out like this.
Doug, and he came out of the bath 6 pounds lighter than he even needs to lose.
Damn.
So I'm like, Doug,
hopefully he downed a couple. Hey, when I was 15 and I used to have to make weight for Pop Warner football, shout out Colombo. He was there. Tip Dog was there on that team. But
I didn't even tell you. Hold on. Okay, go ahead. Keep on.
But I used to have to make weight every single football game. And I would go sit in the sauna at George Brown Fitness, and my pops would be right by the scales. So I would go and weigh in. And as soon as I weighed in and made weight, I would get off the scales. My pops would hand me 2 32-ounce Gatorades right there on the spot.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And that way I could drink as much as I could before we played.
Doug, you want to know how fucking funny like social media and shit is nowadays? Is that I physically have never met you or Columbo in person, right?
Right.
And I'm like, and you've become one of my better homies over the last couple of years, right? Where I talked to you, Doug. We've had this past week, I think we could have done 2 shows just by the conversations we had on the phone. And but
I'm gonna start recording it and selling it on the side.
Put it up on Patreon.
We'll call the bootlegs.
That shit's really uncensored. The kind of conversations we be having, but
not spot style. But hey,
I had a dream, Doug. Maybe like 2 weeks ago. I completely forgot to tell you. I had a dream. I was at my mom's house and I was like doing yard work or some shit for her, and I could hear you talking in the like next door neighbor or whatever, right? And I looked over to the neighbor's house, and it was you and Columbo talking about whatever you were talking about.
Really?
And I was like, oh shit, there's the homies, but for some reason in my dream, I kept like cleaning or doing whatever I was doing.
Yeah.
But I was like, how fucking weird is that, dog? That even Columbo was in a dream of mine. Like,
You know what's funny? Is I talked to his
weird.
ass on the phone today for about 45 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's trying to defend LeBron, and we all go back and forth over that shit.
Oh man, yeah.
But that's crazy though. I mean, me and him were talking today, and then now you tell the story on tonight on the show.
Yeah, it was weird because I woke up. I remember going.
Butterfly effect.
I was like, you and I talk so much, I could understand. Like if I had a dream and like, oh, Kukui was with me, we're at a restaurant or a bar. But I'm like, even Columbo was there? What the fuck kind of shit dreams am I having? That's crazy.
Hey, he's everywhere. He's like I Need Money from How High, the movie. The dude that's up on the couch, that's Bo. If you're there, he's there.
Hey, you know what? I know California is a big place, and I know you're a few hours away from in LA.
Okay.
But there was recently in the last few days, there was an earthquake. Did you feel it?
No.
No. Okay, Covino, Rich, and Spot were all saying that that they felt it. Rich was saying it wasn't bad. Covino said he didn't want to leave his room because he was fucking scared. And Spot said he was up working at 2 a.m. And they were like,
"Oh, I didn't feel no shit at 2 a.m."
Yeah,
but I'm jaded though, bro. We got the space station right here, so those be letting off rockets at like 11:30 at night sometimes. And when that thing's all like when the rocket takes off, oh, bro, you can feel and hear that shit. It's loud as.
And then Chaco's over there.
Now that they know how to land the booster, when that shit hits the sonic boom, bro, it sounds like the police are kicking in your door.
You said the police. You almost said it the way where the fucking the way Theo Von says pervert.
He said pervert. But nah, so I mean I didn't feel it. I mean, maybe if I did, I just thought it was one of those things. But
yeah.
Were they all scared or what?
Yeah, they were saying Covino said he was like he didn't want to leave his room. Spot said he was editing and he was getting ready for bed.
Yeah, he was.
Well, he didn't even lie.
He was editing man ass.
Well, he said he was editing for his other backtrack sort of he does, that other freelance shit.
He freelance is what he does.
Doug, I know you're on TikTok a lot like I am. And again, there's been some new trend going around where people, when their NFL team loses, they break a fucking fake ass TV. And I don't know if Covino and Rich talked about this on Fox Sports or on their actual Patreon.
Okay.
But it was they might have done it on both, but for sure on Fox Sports because I remember fucking Ramos and Danny G chiming in. And Danny G was like, he's like, this shit's fake because usually it's like a 32-inch TV or some shit that's like, you could tell it was old as fuck, right? So they'll like do some shit like they were watching the game and then they just got mad and broke the TV. And Danny G said he knew it was fake. He was like, because you cannot be watching your favorite team on a 32-inch TV. If you're watching your favorite team, it's at least 50, 55, 60, 80 inches, right? What?
I got a confession to make.
What's up?
In 2001 or 2000 maybe, I bought me a 55-inch TV from Rent-A-Center. You know where you make them weekly payments and they charge you like 4 times the price?
Yeah.
I didn't want to put that shit on credit, so I got it from Rent-A-Center. I originally had got it for like the 2000 Super Bowl. No, I had got it. You know what it was? I had got it for the Raiders and the Ravens AFC playoff game where Tony Saragusa squashed Rick Gannon. And we lost. The Goose, he squashed Rich Gannon and we lost. But I had got it for that. That's what it was. Tip Dog and Woody were at my house. And I remember we got all drunk and played football in the street after. But anyways, I had this big-ass screen TV. And when the Raiders lost to the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl, like as bad as they suck and the disappointment right now, it was way worse back in the day. So those fucking 4 or 5 years with Rich Gannon and Charlie Garner when we actually were good for a minute, and then we got shit on 55-21 in the Super Bowl, I fucking bashed that motherfucker. I punched it, kicked it. I did all kind of shit to that TV.
But think about what you just said. 50-something inch TV in like 2000, right? That shit was real. These people that are doing this shit, dog, that would have been like you in 2000. That it would have been like, say, and TikTok and shit was a thing back in the day. It would have been like you fucking breaking.
It was a fucker that was like this wide on wheels.
It would have been like you breaking a 13-inch TV. a 13-inch black and white TV. You're like, dog, at the you didn't give about a little ass old TV, right? That's what people are doing nowadays, is that they're grabbing some
Well, but there
old
wasn't
TVs.
flat screens back then. Back then, the closest you got to a flat screen was like that Sony Wega or Vega or whatever it was.
Yeah.
There weren't no flat screens back then. So it was still a big screen.
Yeah. But see, that shit was real. A lot of what people are doing nowadays is obviously fake shit. So I know you're passionate. I know your team, but a lot of the shit now.
I think after I broke it and shit, and once it was already busted, I even did the Chun-Li sideways kick and shit at it. We did all kind of fucked up shit. Like once it broke, it was over. You know how Chun-Li, if you jump with Chun-Li and hit like medium kick, she did that little yeah, and she came out with her foot.
Isn't Chun-Li the dude from fucking Pawn Stars?
No, Chun-Li on Street Fighter.
Oh, I thought Chun-Li.
That's Chun-Li's sister.
Oh, okay. I my bad. I didn't know. Speaking of football and shit, Covino said that when he watched one of the games last week, he was watching it with people that didn't really give about the game, so he threw on the subtitles. What do you think about subtitles in like sports?
I think, I think in 2020, number one, I don't disagree with them. And if that's what it has to be for him to watch the game, that's what it has to be. Totally. I think this in 2023, I carry a little earbud pockets with me and whatnot. And I got my little belt clip and my AirPods. And if you start acting up like that, I'm going to watch that shit on my phone and plug my headphones in.
100%. No, that's a great
like that. I'm checking out. Like, I'll kick it with you guys there in spirit. But like, I'm trying to watch this shit. You guys are free to do whatever you want. And pardon me and don't let me interrupt. But also don't mind me when I'm on my business and I watch my game.
You know what? I think that's a great alternative. However, when I was thinking about this, I go, I've definitely done it or been at a bar or something when you're it's not maybe the main game that you're watching or whatever, and you are reading the subtitles and shit. So it is an option. However, what I think, what annoys the fuck out of me, especially like say I'm like at my grandma's house or something, right? And the subtitles are on and everybody's fucking talking and shit. And you're like, everybody shut up. We're trying to watch the game. The only thing that irritates me is, I don't know if it's because it's real time. The fucking subtitles, I feel like, are always like just 1 or 2 seconds too far behind. There's a lag where it's annoying as to where if you're trying to read it and watch it and shit, it's like this play happened 30 seconds ago and you're just barely reading it. That's my only complaint about it.
Well, and how rude are you to go to a sports bar where obviously the bar is playing the game because it attracts customers.
Yeah.
And for your loud, obnoxious ass to talk over the TV that is supposed to lure people in to buy drinks.
Yeah. Well, I think in Covino's defense, I think they were watching it at Jordan's like family's house because he said they were playing Monopoly.
Yeah, no, at that point, I'm probably watching it on my phone. I'm going to lie and say I got some money on it or something and just, maybe just keep one ear in, one ear out so you can kind of pay attention to what they're saying in case they call your name and you're totally not ignoring everybody. But at the same time, you're still watching your shit.
Dog, I do the 1 ear thing so fucking much. I do it at work. I do it at home. I do it. I remember one time, dog, I was at Walmart. It was me, my fucking girl, my child, my daughter, right? So we're my child.
What was that, bro? What the fuck was that? What are you, fucking Harry Potter? Listen, my child.
Dog.
What was that, bro?
So I don't know, dog. I don't know where it came from, but we're right there at Walmart. And dog, I'm listening to some podcast. I don't remember what it was. It was probably Covino and Rich, right? And dog, my girl's talking to me. And I was like, I had my podcast too loud. So even though I had one AirPod in, I couldn't even tell what she was saying. So like she was talking to me and I was like,
can you repeat yourself?
No, I was like, yeah. And I was like agreeing and shit. And she was like,
she set you up.
So she goes, you're not even listening, are you? And I go, yeah. I was like, you wanted to get the Fiesta blend cheese, just trying to make shit up. And she goes, do you
know what you get, bro? It's a whole other conversation.
I don't know, dog. It's usually like Colby Jack or some shit, but I don't know. Maybe Fiesta blend if I'm getting a little spicy. But dog, she looks at me. She's like, you have that shit in your fucking ear, don't you? And I was like, huh? And I tried to lie my way out of get in and out of my ear and shit. Like, and
I do, but it's not on. There's nothing planned.
No, but look, it's paused. But yeah,
Look
but
at my watch. Look at my watch.
Or dog, there used to be. I remember I had a job one time where
one job
when I would have an AirPod in, right, and my boss would come in and start talking to me the same fucking way, like telling me, "Oh yeah," and then two of them. So what do you think? And I go, I cannot, because it's too obvious for me to reach at my ear and pull it out. So I have to just like can fight through it. But dog, one time I had no AirPod in, and I was in a meeting. There was three of us. It was me, a coworker of mine, and my supervisor. And they were talking, dog. I was so zoned out because I didn't give up about what they were talking about.
Right.
And they were talking, and I don't know what the happened, but apparently I was like responding and shit because they came to me for my opinion, right? And I didn't even know what the topic of conversation was, right? So I was like, huh? And they're like, you weren't even listening, huh? And I go, yeah. I go, yeah, I was. And they're like,
oh, that's great.
They go, no, you weren't, right? And then fucking,
weren't.
And I go, I wasn't, because I couldn't fake it. And they go, man, you were so believable. You were even responding and engaged in the conversation, because I was like, yeah, great idea. And I was just like, I need to get the out of here, man. When do I go home? What time's lunch? Yeah, this shit's fucking boring.
What time's lunch?
Dog, I was looking, and it was so funny because they both called me out, and I was like, all right, listen. It reminded me of fucking when Dane Cook talks about when you get caught lying, instead of just being like, you caught me, I'm a liar. Like, let's fucking move on, right? I did try to deny it for a little bit. I was like, no, I was listening. And they're like, no, you weren't. I was like, nah, I fucking wasn't. So,
all right, you're right. No,
and I didn't even have an AirPod in on that time, but I don't know. I like the AirPod. That's a good alternative. I think you're very smart for that one.
Thank you, sir. Hey, yeah. I got a couple rapid fires.
Cool. What's up?
First of all, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if it's gonna shock you or not, if you're gonna agree or.
Whoa, phase 3.
Well, maybe that has something to do with it.
All right, now, dudes.
No, but honestly, I think, like, for myself, I think right now at this point in time, like, what's right for me.
Yeah.
I think I'm digging the Fox radio show more than Patreon.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to say I like it more, but I definitely do dig it. I like it a lot, and I could tell you, Doug, I even like it more than the first couple of months. I would say when I've really been liking it, and I don't know. At first, when they started kind of implementing Ramos a little more, I was a little like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this dude, whatever. Dog,
like
but their chemistry, all of them, is so good. And you know what? Actually, they were talking about Covino and Rich. They were talking about Danny G on Wednesday, and they were saying that I think Covino's family was like thinking Danny G's black, and they're like, no, he's not black. Dog, this is one thing. I think I've said it on an episode of this show where Danny G, I've seen pictures of him. I don't give a fuck. In my mind, he's still a fucking brother. I don't give a fuck. Even though I've seen pictures of him, that dude's black. I don't give a fuck. And it makes me laugh because I guess I'm not the only one who thought that. And it's not even like his voice. It's the fact that he has such a cool fucking swag about him, and he's so fucking chill. And he's like, to me, I'm just like, I feel like that's a dude.
He doesn't force it. He's not trying to fucking hustle you. It doesn't feel unnatural. He feels genuine.
I feel like it's a dude that he's seen some shit. He reminds me of one of my cousins, Doug. I'm like, real chill, cool dude, funny, but he's seen some shit in his life. And I feel like definitely it brings,
most of us have,
it brings a little more fucking, Doug, I told you fucking a story last weekend, about something that happened. And I mean, it's just shit like that happens all the time. And so when you have somebody on the show that
you can relate to,
because, actually Rich said on Wednesday, he was like, sometimes I think about how Danny G lives, and Spot was like, where he lives. And Rich goes, no, how he lives. And I just feel like Danny G lives a lot like a lot of us normal people do, right? Like
Normal folk.
Spot was calling Rich average and shit, but Rich has a little bit more above average life. I was telling you over the weekend, when we were having a conversation about how I'm cool with my like average home and shit, you know. I think Danny G is definitely, I think that's why I like him so much. I can relate to him, and I feel like he's so fucking down to earth as far as like he's never, if he has been like on radio as far as like one of the voices and shit, I feel like he's always been like an extra voice and shit. He's never been the fucking Brad Pitt of a radio show or some shit, right? Like Cavino and Rich have. They fucking dog, they fucking have been around everybody, interviewed everybody, and everything.
For sure.
They've been the stars, right? He's got more of a
one and two.
yeah. Rush. Doug,
Right.
how many stations can we name that they were on? Maxim, Rush, Stars 1, Stars 2, and
Covino
Bleacher
and
Report.
fucking, what's his name? What's his name? Bowfinger?
Poundstone Power.
Poundstone.
Derek Poundstone.
Yeah.
Doug, but just
that was a good one. I like that show though. Did you like it or
Faction Talk? Yeah.
Faction.
Doug, do you remember the segment they used to do called When Jokes Fall Flat with
with
Derek
Steve
Poundstone?
Covino? Oh, Derek Poundstone?
And it would be like Covino would say something and then he'd be like,
that dude was too dry. He was
the
way
dude
too
would
dry.
barely laugh if anything. So that became one of my favorite segments, is when not even when they would play the game on Covino and Rich, just when I was listening, because I would listen to Poundstone Power in the evenings and shit. Because of course you want to support Covino, you want to support Rich, right? So I would listen to Poundstone Power, and to hear that shit in real time, like, oh, it was so funny. Where Derek Poundstone would be like, if a male works out his chest a lot and develops pecs, and then he stops working out, he actually develops what you call a gynoplastia. And then Covino would be like, man tits or something. And then it would just go like completely like quiet. And then you're like, so it's actually called gynoplastia or whatever the fuck.
Like,
and
come on, Poundstone. I remember that.
Yeah. I was like, oh shit. I forget what it was that was actually a conversation that I remember. Do you remember when they talked about that?
I do.
And Poundstone said something about what it was actually called. But then Covino, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. So you brought up Fox Sports. Actually, last episode, we talked about how the dudes are awesome because they get to do their show, but like in a kind of more tamed way, right? So I talked about how Rich,
that's why I'm liking it more than Patreon. There's less fuckery going on.
And then Rich.
Why am I flashing, bro?
I don't fucking know.
What the fuck's cracking? Do you see it?
I do, dog. On here, you look like you're a TV from like the 70s that's like losing.
Yeah, I'm Ashton Kutcher, bro. Why is it doing that?
You look like you're on fucking Punked.
What do we do?
We can go with it. There goes your camera.
No, I'm gonna put it back on.
Oh. Okay, dog, we got a strobe light. We'll be in the club.
All right, cool.
All right. No, but it made me laugh because last week we were talking about Rich and how he'll say shit like put it in her a-hole or some shit, you know? And
but he's still a nasty fucker. Just because you don't say asshole and you say a-hole, you're still a perv and you're still dirty.
Well, this week
continue.
On Wednesdays, Wednesday or Thursday. Could have been Fridays. I don't remember because today is Sunday. I don't
know. Why? I don't know.
But it made me laugh because Rich said something about a small pickle. And Covino goes, yeah, we'll get to your small pickle later. And then they started laughing, and then Danny G and Ramos were cracking up. And then everybody started laughing at Rich's small pickle. And that's the kind of stupid shit that they can still make like fucking funny, and it's fucking dirty, but it's clean enough for fucking the radio, you know? So that's one thing where, Doug, I've really, like I said, I've been enjoying the show so much. You know what? Actually, on one of the days, I forget what day it was, I was actually listening to the Fox Sports Radio from the previous day, and I was about to start the second hour, but then Covino and Rich's Patreon was starting, so I was like, I'll listen to this later. But that's how into it I was.
No, I like the Fox one.
They've definitely been killing it.
Well, because there's less bullshit on there right now.
Yeah.
You know, like
Um,
some of the extreme like sex talk and shit, like, and I don't care. I'm a nasty motherfucker myself. So if I'm tapping out, some of that shit just went a little too far. And I just know that when I'm listening to Fox Sports, they're talking about sports, which I love sports, obviously. And I know it's not going to get weird. It
yeah, of
feels
course.
safe. It feels safe.
It's like, dog,
It feels really safe. I feel like in safe place on sport.
dog, this is how I'll explain it. It's like if you have a dad that's an alcoholic, right? And at home, there could be like you're having a good time, right? And you're enjoying your evening with them, but you know there's a chance that he could break out his bottle and start drinking while you guys are having a right. But if you go visit your dad at work, you're just so happy to see him because you know he's not going to be drunk.
No, you're comfortable because you know that nothing's gonna flare up.
Exactly. Your
Right.
dad's not going to get drunk in the middle of work, right?
No,
So
but you get your dad.
you still get to see your dad. You still get to enjoy your dad that you've been enjoying for the last 18 years, right?
Right.
You know,
And he's not entering phase 4 at work. That happens at home. And you can be prepared for that.
you know what, Doug? It's like, you know, it's like you've been, you know, you're a kid, you're what, 17? You're 17 or 18 years old.
18.
And just over the last 6 months, your dad became a really bad alcoholic. So it's the last 6 months to a year, you're like, man, I miss my dad when he was just my dad and he wasn't drinking.
That was my dad.
But yeah, so what we're trying to say
That's
is
Fox Sports. If you want to see your dad, tune into Camino and Rich on Fox Sports. I think it's from 2 to 4 Monday through Friday.
if your dad has ever stepped out for a pack of cigarettes and never came home, if your dad has ever stepped out to go to the car wash and never returned home, if he ever
went into phase 4 and you were like, no, Dad, go to Camino and Rich.
Listen to Fox Sports Radio. That's
Fox
all we're
Sports.
saying.
All we're saying. That's it. little message.
A litlittle message for dad.
Little mensaje.
Oh man, let me see. Rich's Rich has a memory diary. Did you hear about this?
I did.
So Rich has a memory diary, which you know what, Doug? I actually think it's kind of a cool idea on how he said he goes
about
inputting shit.
A lot of work.
He said he'll go back so many years and input because of the pictures are in chronological order.
Do you need the details?
Do you need them?
I don't.
I don't think so.
When I went with my ex to the Grand Canyon in 2006, here's what I got. Right? Here's what I remember. And for me, it's enough. It's enough. I don't need any more. We went, I smoked a bunch of blunts. We got on a helicopter. We went across that shit. It was cool.
You went on a helicopter after you smoked blunts?
Oh, yeah, I got all of it. I smoked me a fired up blunt right before we took off and shit. And we went on a helicopter and it goes over, it's like a mile. It goes over the Grand Canyon. And on the other side, it has green. There's like grass and shit and like trees. It's a trip because from this side, it looks like all rock, but you fly over Colorado River. They take you, whatever. Long story short, the point I'm trying to make is that's all I really need to remember. I went, I got loaded. We flew over the Grand Canyon. It had some green shit over there. We went down the Colorado River. It was dope. I was scared as we made it back. I got a video. What else do I need to know?
We can go for a float down on the Colorado River every 4th of July.
But what else do I need? Do I need a video to know every emotion I felt along the way? No, I know I was with so-and-so around this time, this year, over there. It was dope. It was cool. I had a great time. Right on.
Yeah, I think I might actually implement this. I think it's a cool idea. And so I get what you're saying as far as like, do I need all this information? Probably not. But I mean, if you go through and you can just have it. Oh, you know what I do from time to time? Maybe this is why I think it's a cool idea.
Jerk off?
Because no, not I said from time to time, not all the time.
All right,
what I like to do is I think I talked about this where I'll actually write about the dreams I had.
Yeah.
I'll actually like write them into like not a journal. It's like a Word document. It's not like I went to fucking and where do they have this shit at like Hobby Lobby and shit. You get a little journal like dear journal today I dreamt. No, but I'll fucking just like write shit. I have a rolling or running document of dreams and shit, and I don't know. I just like to log shit sometimes, so I think it's a good idea. I think it's cool. So I think
I can't
I'm
knock
Team
it.
Rich.
I can't knock it on that one. I really can't. I just, I forgot. No, you know what? Bill Syverton, Fresno City College, 2008. He said your brain is like a hard drive.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, it starts to fill up and you kick out shit that doesn't really matter and certain details that don't matter as you process new memories because you keep adding to it. Sooner or later, on the old noggin here, you hit the delete button on shit that's not important.
Well, that's why it's good to have. Oh, shit. I forgot about that. Hey, I forgot my fucking, my daughter was a fucking giraffe in the school play. That's kind of cool. I remember that.
No, you should remember that. Daughter was a giraffe in the school play 2001, right?
Yeah.
Everything else you kind of click and highlight and then you hit delete.
Yeah.
Because that's really all you should remember.
Yeah.
Unless like she was the star of the show and you remember like her closing moment or something. But what else would you care to really give a shit about? You don't care what your lady was wearing that night. You're not going to be like, we shared a kiss under the starlight. Like,
you don't know what I want to write about. Okay.
What do you write about?
I haven't yet. I mean, I'm barely thinking about Rich's idea.
Well, when you do it, will you read us the your innermost thoughts?
Yeah, I'll go and I'll do I'll start with like 1996.
I got my first sweatpant boner. I was going to the front of the class to read my book report and it popped out of my Puma pants.
Actually, speaking of which, dog, do you remember your first like oral report that you had to do in front of the class?
I don't.
I remember, dog. I remember mine. What grade was it? Must have been first or second grade. But I remember all of us had to pick a president and do a report on him in front of the class. Be like,
who was yours?
Abraham Lincoln.
Stinking Lincoln?
Yep. I got up there and I was like, Abraham Lincoln wore a hat and had a beard with no mustache. And Doug, I remember that like it was yesterday because I remember being like, fuck, like, you know what? Actually, something maybe probably that same year or the next year, we had to do a show and tell. And I remember, Doug, I think I've told this on this show before, but I had to, it was like a show and tell, and I had a little bobblehead dog, right? So I brought in the dog, and this was this was when I realized I must exactly right. But it was
a bobblehead Mac Dre.
So check this shit out, Doug. I had mine like that, and I remember telling the class that I have a dog at home or whatever. But I was like, she was too big to bring in my backpack, and the whole class started laughing. I'm in like second grade, right? And I was like, that's it, dog. I want to be a performer. So here we are, the after show, but later, in 32 years later, probably. And I'm like, oh shit, I knew that shit was going to be dope. I knew I was going to want to perform. I just had a conversation with somebody who had an interview.
Okay.
And they were telling me how nervous they were and shit. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And they're like, what? I was like, I can't be like, oh, like, I know how that feels. I was like, because I like interviewing, I feel like that's my moment to fucking shine and shit and be like, let me show you how fucking awesome I am,
Yeah, fuck
and
yeah.
So I fucking love it. So when somebody says like, oh, I have an interview and I'm nervous, I'm kind of like, about what? Aren't you fucking badass?
Well, hold on though, but I think you're right. It's your chance to show off how awesome you are. But that only really works if you know your shit about the job you're interviewing for.
Well,
because if they're going to ask you a bunch of questions about the job you're interviewing for, and it's like acing a test, right? If you got all the answers, because in grocery, that's how I am. I know every answer to every question. I know exactly what they want to hear. I know why they want to hear it. Like I get it. Grocery, that's my shit. Retail, that's my shit. But yes.
I gotta tell you. I'm waiting for you to finish. I gotta tell you something.
No, go ahead.
about
What are
that.
you gonna tell me?
Well, Doug, it makes me laugh because you're a fucking grocery guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know that. I know your years of being in the fucking industry, the positions you've held, this and this, right? It makes me laugh because I was watching a podcast the other day and they were interviewing this dude, just some random dude.
Okay.
And they were like, "Oh, what do you do?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm in the grocery business, right?" So I'm thinking he has like your background, right? I'm thinking this dude's been a fucking manager. He's fucking run his own stores. He's fucking dog. This dude's been a fucking G of the fucking right grocery store. And they're like, "Oh, well, what do you do?" And he's like, "Well, I work in the vitamins area and I also do Instacart."
Oh, he's a GM clerk. Yeah, he does
He
Instapuss.
does Instacart. Doug, so when you were saying that, you're like, "I'm a grocery dude." I was like, it made me laugh because like, no, you. But it's funny when people say that shit and they're like, "What do you do?" "I'm a bagger." And like, and it's cool if you're a bagger.
Not before though.
It's cool if you're a bagger and you're 15, right? But if you say you're in the grocery business, I'm assuming you've held some decent
You've at least filled the milk.
a couple of times, right?
Right.
But when this dude said I do Instacart, I was like, Doug, my friend's wife did that like here and there, just to keep herself
You're
busy.
shopping.
But
Speaking of shout out Tito and E, man. We want to see their podcast back in action.
yeah, we do.
We do.
Talk
Talked to E the other day, so wish them both the best of luck.
I did too, Doug. Did he send you that meme?
Which one?
He texted me a meme. I forget what it was, but it was just like 2 days ago. So I go, oh, he must hit you up too.
That's wild.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'll podcast. Go check it out on YouTube and all that bullshit.
Yes, sir.
Okay, real quick. I know, Doug. There was I gotta say, Prince Charles, or what is he now? King Charles. He's a bitch.
Yeah, he is. He is.
I gotta tell you. I gotta tell you why he's a bitch.
Go ahead, spit it.
I guess Rich pulled up some report or some shit, and it said that Prince Charles refuses to wear
nail polish,
wrinkled pajamas.
What?
Dog, isn't that the most puto shit you ever heard in your whole life?
Yes.
Dog, I don't give a how. Like, they were talking about this shit because Rich was saying that he interviewed the Backstreet Boys last month, and
they were Backdoor Boys.
They were. Why would you be rude to these dudes? They're just trying to make a living.
Because more than 50% of them take it the back door.
No, they don't, dog. You're thinking about NSYNC, and that's only Lance Bass.
No.
Yeah.
Out of the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, the only dude that backdoors it's Lance Bass?
Yeah. Backstreet Boys, Kevin has a family, AJ has a family. Fucking
don't start naming them off. You know them all like that?
Brian has a family. Yeah, Brian has a son that's like 16. He's seen, Nick has a family. He has young children.
You know what, bro?
And Howie, they're all...
January 25th, 2023. Let's just revisit that conversation later.
Okay, we will. Because, anyway. And Lance Bass has a new podcast called Frosted Tips. It's pretty good. I would say check it out.
Get the fuck out of here.
He does, dog. He already had AJ from the Backstreet Boys. I don't care what he's got.
I'm not checking his shit out.
And
what do you mean check it out? You're out of your mind.
He had Jordan Knight from New Kids. He had
give a shit if he's got fucking King Tut and Princess Diana. I'm not listening to that bullshit.
Hey, but look at what I'm saying is we all know Lance Bass, what he likes to do, right? But he hasn't mentioned it once on this fucking show. I've listened to 3 episodes. He hasn't mentioned it once.
Well, then why Spock got to mention it 100 times every show that Covino Rich got?
I don't. You said it, not me, dog. I don't know. But no, but Rich
quote it, take a picture, fucking print it down. I don't know what you want to do. Transcribe it.
Well, Rich was saying that when he interviewed the Backstreet Boys, I guess Howie had said that they were at the Grove and they saw the lights, and then Howie was like, "Oh, these lights are dope." Called the person that does the lights at the Grove, and that person does the lights for like Howie's home every Christmas or some shit. So they were like, "What would you do if you had Backstreet Boys type of money, right? And this type of money where you get to whatever, call the dude at the Grove to come decorate Kukui's house every year, whatever. What is one thing or two things that you would do? Would you wear a brand new pair of socks every day? Never have to do fucking laundry? Would that be your shit? Fresh clothes every fucking day?
No.
What would you do?
If I had money like that,
The Backstreet Boys.
I would throw a block party a couple of times a year. Haven't figured out what those dates are, whether it's New Year's, Super Bowl, whatever. At least 2 or 3 times a year. Catered, taco trucks, fucking bounce houses, all the fucking bullshit. And
naked bitches on the bounce houses.
Kick it with the neighbors, homie. Kick it with all the people you live with. You know what I mean? That are in your street. Like hook everybody up.
Doug, you've been watching too much of The Neighbors with and Cedric the Entertainer. And
I'm just for real. So, invite your friends over too, but like make like a block party. I'm not saying the whole neighborhood. I'm not saying all that, but like even right now, I'm on a cul-de-sac and there's probably like 10 houses. Fucking invite everybody.
Rich said that. Doc, I think that's one thing that I would do.
What?
I would just every day. I would never have laundry ever again. I would just every
I love
day
doing laundry.
I don't mind it, but I would just fucking every day, dog. I'd have like brand new fucking out the package socks, out the package drawers, put those on.
Yeah,
out the package new shirt. Out the package. I think I would have. I might go, and I'm a very minimalist.
Maybe wife beaters.
When
I can do out the package socks and wife beaters, but my drawers, I got to be comfy with them. I got go-tos on drawers. I mean, I got like 20 pairs and like 5, 6, 7, 8. Your go-tos. Socks and wife beaters, I could wear those fresh every day. T-shirts, I do wear those fresh every day. But your chones?
Yeah, I think I would, Doug. If I had Backstreet Boys type of money, I think I would.
But that's a waste. That's where you would choose to waste money?
Probably.
Okay.
I'm not 100%, but right now, just thinking about it, being like, Doug, like, you know how you have like a waste basket or some shit, like to throw your fucking laundry or a laundry basket?
Yeah.
You know what that would be? That would be like the fucking Goodwill donation bag.
Donation.
Right? You take off your fucking shirt, you're like, wore the shit. This shit's ready for the donations. This ain't ready for the wash. I wouldn't even own a wash. Look, is it wasteful? If I'm not, I don't.
Not if you donate it.
Look, I'm not okay. I'm donating for one. Now I'm helping out people. For two, I don't.
You're creating jobs. You're actually creating jobs.
Now I save myself a few grand. I don't have a washer and a dryer,
bro. If you're going through 365 wife beaters a year and 365 pairs of drawers at the least a year and 365 pairs of socks, and you're truly donating all that shit after you're done,
you're a good dude. I think you're
a good dude.
You're a good dude. And look and think about it. You're saving a couple grand, on your washer or dryer.
You're saving water.
Now no water. Now no detergent.
Yeah.
Doug, this actually might be a fucking way to save money.
It might. Well, it depends how cheap you can get your shit for. But you know what? You're saving the planet. You're not buying the crazy ass chemicals or whatever it takes to make fucking detergent. You're not wasting the gallons of water to rinse, recycle, wash, rinse again, and repeat.
I wonder, Doug, I should do the math. How much
Especially if you can send it to a third world country. Like, say you could send it out.
Doug, think about if you could wash, how much you would save by not washing. If you include like your fucking fabric softener, your detergent, your little pieces of you throw on the dryer,
sprinkle the pellets and the fucking snuggle pack.
Exactly. We have the detergent, the softener, and those little unstoppables and shit.
And the snuggle and the pack.
What's the pack?
I with detergent.
Yeah.
Liquid softener.
Yeah.
Follow me. The snuggle packs, those little, they look like almost dish tab size, but they're packs of snuggle. So there's a little snuggle pack and then the pellets.
Yeah. See, I do all that but the snuggle pack. And then when you're drying, you got to right.
I had double the sheets. If it's
dryer
I
sheets,
put a minimum of 2 a load.
Dryer sheets, dog. You're saving on dryer sheets. You're saving on all the energy. Dog, I think that might actually be the cheaper option.
Well, you could donate the clothes. I mean, but you know what I would still say? You know what I would do?
Need new sneakers every day too.
Third world country, you could donate them.
Dog, even
and
if
you know
buy,
what? If you were
like
self-employed, you know what? You should file taxes for the after show, but later, and you could write that off as a loss.
Dog, I wonder. Let me see. Say you even buy like a $50 pair of like Vans or something reasonable, right? Not
Vans,
not like $300 sneakers. Just say, because you're gonna have them every day. Every day you're gonna have. So say you have $50. Do you have a calculator? Can you do the math for me?
I sure can't.
What's oh, you can't? You want me to do it?
I can't. No, go for it. I'm good. I got you. What is it?
What do 50 times 365?
18,250.
18,000?
250.
All right, just for a brand new pair of sneakers Okay, maybe do a brand new pair of clean white Vans every week. So what's 52 times 50?
2,600.
That's all for a brand new pair of sneakers every week.
Every week.
Dog, I think I'm gonna be the new Vans dude.
You're gonna be Dan the Van.
I'll be Dan the Vans.
Daniel the Vaniel.
Dan the Vans, dog. I think he's coming to a city near you. Dan the Vans.
The Vanny.
I think so, dog. There you go. Dan the Vans. I think so, 100%. There we go, dog. Now I'm gonna calculate this shit. How much is a pair of like or like a 3-pack of wife beaters?
At the Ramada, they're about $6
for a 3-pack.
Yes.
So do what's 365 divided by 3?
121.6666677777
times
yes
6.
730.
730 or 7,000?
No, 730.
$730, Doug, a year to wear a brand new wife beater every day.
And you could probably do that same number for socks and chones.
You don't have $730 a year
for 2 G's a year.
To be as fresh as you can be.
For 2 G's a year, you could probably have factory fucking.
Doug, I think if you take into account detergent and all this shit, Doug, we're already saving money. I don't know about you.
Well, you might not be saving, but I would say for that.
We're the after show, but save money. I think that's what we are, Doug.
After show, but
the after save, but later.
After save, but later.
I think that's what we are. But fuck, Doug. Do you have a couple rapid fires? If not, Doug, I think we can wrap this bad boy up.
No, I got a whole bunch of shit. I got to let you go for a minute.
All right, go ahead.
On the Fox radio show, they asked if unfollowing a team was acceptable if you don't want to play for them anymore.
What do you mean? Unfollowing a team?
Yeah, like say you're right now, you got Jimmy Garoppolo, Brock Purdy, and Trey Lance all play for the Niners. Obviously, Brock Purdy is balling. Let's just say championship game, they choose to go with Brock Purdy. Take it back. Let's say the Derek Carr situation. Derek Carr, after everything that unfolded, he unfollowed the Raiders, which means basically, in social media world, I'm not fucking with him no more. And so it kind of sends a signal out. So do you think that that's okay? Not okay?
So is Derek Carr officially already split the cheeks already? He's out? He's
not. But the Raiders, once they said they parted ways and he wasn't supposed to be at the facility anymore, he unfollowed the Raiders, which in social media land basically means I'm not with you no more, right?
Well,
when you unfollow somebody, you're basically telling that person, I don't get down with you no more. I don't need to see your feeds. I don't care what you're doing. We ain't friends. I'm not following you. So I guess what they were asking was, is that okay? If you're at odds with the team and you unfollow them, which basically means that you're not with them anymore, is that okay?
if you're still employed by them, if they're still writing you checks, I don't think it's that cool.
I agree.
If you left a team, you're with a new team, or you're a free agent or whatever, you cut your ties, they're not paying you no more. Even if they are paying you, but you got out of some contract or whatever, but you're not associated with that team no more, then fuck them, dog. That's like saying like, if it's a fucking job, right? Mm-hmm. So that's like saying, dog, you work for, let's call this company, Bomb Pop, right? You work for bombpop.com. Bombpop.com, and you know what? But you get instead of working for Bomb Pop, now you're going to go work for a company, dog, where you're your own boss, right? You're your own boss, Bomb Pop. You don't work for them no more. Now you're going to go be your own boss, where you're selling all kinds of shit like hamburgers and hot dogs and tires, right? You do it all at this new place, right? And you unfollow Bomb Pop. Well, Bomb Pop, dog, they ain't putting food on your kid's table anymore, right? So,
but you can't unfollow before you make the switch.
No, that's the part that I feel is a little shady.
You got to be respectful. While you're still it's you know what it is. Check it out. Tell me if I'm wrong. You can take the ring off, and you don't have to wait for the divorce to be final. You can take it off once you're truly not with that person no more.
Mm-hmm. But in a case like Derek Carr,
the ring's off.
Didn't they kind of tell him to kick rocks already anyway?
Well, it's okay because, I'll give Derek Carr his credit on this one because he's playing it like a G. The ring is off. Derek Carr is not wearing the ring anymore. The ring is off. The marriage is over. And it's okay if people know that.
I have a bigger question.
I got a bigger answer.
Okay, let me hear.
What's your question?
What do you do with all your jerseys and shit?
You think I ever bought a Derek Carr jersey?
No.
Are you hired out of your mind?
Doug, you're high because I wasn't talking about you. I'm saying you're Derek Carr in this situation.
No, he keeps his jerseys. You save them. What are the Raiders? Derek Carr and what he's doing with his shit? That's the least of my worries. I thought you were asking about Raider fans that actually bought the shit.
No, I'm saying if you're Derek Carr, do you automatically throw that shit away?
No, hell no. You save it. Because if you truly believe that you're going to go on to be something great, it will be of value later down the road. Invest in yourself. I mean, I'm not going to say that he won't be successful. I mean, I don't know how much I believe in him, but I don't doubt that in a good organization with good leadership and good ownership and a great system that he can't thrive. I mean, he's good enough to be on a defensive team like the Giants were when they won a couple of their Super Bowls, and the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, he's better than Trent Dilfer was on that Ravens team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or the Buccaneers team.
How long did Trent Dildo play for the Ravens?
I don't remember.
You don't? Okay.
But that defense carried that team. And so at that point, you just need someone to make mistake-free offense. I don't need you to win the game. The defense is I just need you to get maybe a touchdown, 2 if we're lucky, kick a couple of field goals. The defense got this. And I think if Derek Carr gets in a situation like that, he can win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing. I'm a Raider fan, but I'm going to go ahead and call it out right here. The one thing that we don't have good ownership. And even Al Davis, I've been a fan since 1986, and he was already kind of out there by then. And we've never really made the best decisions as an organization. You look at organizations like Pittsburgh and Kansas City with the Hunt family, and, those organizations typically don't make bad decisions. They're normally competitive. You know what I mean? They make good decisions. The Niners, I mean, they make decent decisions. We don't, dude. We draft Jamarcus Russells and Cleveland Farrells and the quarterback from Ohio State. I forgot his name now, but we just don't make, we draft the fast receivers and I don't know, man. A lot of your success depends on your organization. If Derek Carr goes to an organization that has support, who knows? We'll see what he can do.
Yeah. Oh fuck. All right, Doc. So why is it fucking we got to go in a minute, but why is it fucking Chevron and not Chevron?
Both.
What do you mean both?
I think it's Chevron and it's Chevron. I think it's both.
I just, Doc, I think this is why people had such a hard time, like my dad included, like in learning English. Is like, Doc, why is it chicken, but it's Chevron? Try explaining that to somebody that don't know English.
I'm taking Duolingo right now, bro. I'm still studying that app, and there's a lot of shit in Spanish that don't make sense to me. But you roll with
Like
it.
what?
You gotta
Like
learn
what?
it. A lot of shit, bro. Like a lot of the estudiar, estudiar. I mean, bro, how many times are you gonna say it? Motherfucker studying. Why has it got to be three different ways and shit? Just say he's studying. I mean, what the you know
Well,
what I
it's
mean?
just it's the way you're conjugating it, right?
It is, but it's a lot of it don't make sense. So you know, when you're taking on a language that's foreign to you and not your natural birth language, there's going to be a lot of shit that don't make sense.
A lot of shit or a lot of shit. See, that's where I'm confused.
Depends on what you're learning, bro. If you're American, it's a lot of shit. If you're learning from Spanish to English, it's a lot of shit.
If you're
It's
amino
all right.
speaking,
Neither one of them is wrong, bro. That's the thing. Because you know what? Honestly, what you said about your pops right now, learning English, I'm sure that once I get done with, remember I said I have my goal, 2023 Duolingo. I think I'm gonna be fluent when I'm done with 2023.
yeah.
But that doesn't mean I'm not gonna sound like that to people that speak Spanish. I'll probably sound the same way.
Yeah. No, but that's cool though, Doug. Putting yourself out there, that's what you need to do. You know what I'm saying?
You know, but I'm not insecure. Well,
Yeah.
I hope that I get corrected. Tell me how I should say it because you know what? Shout out Mito. You know what? Shout out Mito because we were in high school and whatnot. And Mito, he's fluent. He can't read or really write it too much, but he can speak Spanish. No problem. That's, you know, it's his second language. And I remember he had a square ass fucking Spanish teacher that tried to fail his ass because he wouldn't do the work and he wouldn't do this and that. And Mito called. He got out in front of the whole class and said, check it out. Gringo, cracker, take your shit over there to TJ and talk, and they're going to laugh your ass all the way back across the border and shit. You ain't going to be able to get over here fast enough because that shit don't translate. I don't know who taught you that or where that book's from or where you got it from or who told you that that's the appropriate shit to teach us. But in the region that we're in, if you go to Baja, California and you speak that shit, they're going to laugh your ass all the way across the border. He said, just like ain't, which at the time wasn't in the dictionary, isn't in the dictionary. A lot of the shit we speak and use ain't in that damn dictionary either.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Straight out.
No, we had a conversation today at work about that, about because we have one of our work study dudes. He's this young kid from Ireland and he's learning Spanish. And there was shit that he was saying that is the proper way, which I know as well because I took every Spanish class you could think of. But that's just not the way it's said right here where we live on the border, you know?
Bro, that's not how we speak English. Think about in England how they speak. We're going to have a dinner tonight, and it requires your attention. And you can't put your arms on the desk, and you're kind of doing this shit, and your fork's a certain way. We don't rock like that. Who do you know that rocks like that? Who do you know that speaks? Yes, sire, we require your presence at the dinner table tonight around 7 p.m.
Yeah.
We don't talk like that. That shit's bullshit.
It is.
Rapid fire. You ready?
Let's go.
Fox. Oh, never mind. Delete that one.
That one was good.
Spot said he almost had a panic attack from seeing the house after J-Rock moved out. And someone that's had panic attacks before, I don't know, man. I'm not going to question Spot right here. He can have a panic attack whenever he wants.
Yeah.
But I ain't never had one from looking at a mess. usually the circumstances and the situations, even though you talk yourself into a bunch of bullshit when you are having a panic attack,
Yeah.
I can't see yourself talking yourself into a panic attack over a mess. And quite frankly, I felt like that was an insult.
Yeah. All right.
What do you think?
I can see where the insult is, but at the same time, I feel like when it comes to like comedy and shit, there's always going to be somebody that's insulted. So you kind of, if you take everybody's feelings into account before you say something, when you're just trying to off the cuff be kind of funny, then you're never going to say anything. So
But mental illness isn't funny.
Yeah, but
some people that deal with panic attacks, you're touching a sore spot.
Doug, yeah, but
No
at the
pun
same
intended.
time, but at the same time, that's with anything. Like I heard, I was listening to a podcast and they said something about, oh yeah, dude, and his head was gonna explode and he was gonna have an aneurysm or some shit. I'm like, that's how my dad died. He had an aneurysm. But am I supposed to be like, oh man, this sucks. My dad, they shouldn't say this shit. No, it's like I understand where they were coming from because it's all coming from the same place where you're trying to be funny, and if it is or it's not, yeah, it's all coming from the same place. You're not trying to offend. So Spot was saying that he wasn't trying to offend people like with panic attacks and shit. He's just trying to paint a picture and be funny. And if it came out a little wrong and people were offended, I feel like that's gonna be with anything, with anything things we say, right? Can be offensive and people might get fucking butthurt. Like, on the last episode, I was editing and I said if you're we were talking about shit being normal, right? And if it's the majority, it's normal. If it's less than the majority, it's not normal or whatever. Okay. And I said if you're a they, a THEY. Mm-hmm. When I was editing, it sounded like I said if you're gay. Okay. Right. And when I was editing, I was like, man, I hope people don't hear that and think that I'm homophobic and I'm saying this shit about gay people. I was saying they people, right? THEY. But I just left left it in there because I go, if people hear gay and they want to be offended, cool. If people hear they, which is what I was saying, which is a lot less common, that's what I meant. But it was all coming from the same place. You know what I'm saying? So, but I see what you're saying 100%. But at the same time, I can't get mad when they're just thinking off the cuff. And we have the luxury of if we say some shit, we're like, oh, let's cut that out. We have timestamps right here, right? Let's cut this out and this out and this out. They're doing that shit live. And I feel agree. Like, so that's just my 2 cents.
I agree. But I'll tell you this much.
What's up?
I totally agree with you on that statement. You're right. I agree, and they are doing it live. But let me tell you this: if we were doing it live, and that shit kept coming back to bite me in the ass, I'd be a little more careful about what I said too.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. I do agree because we've done this show live maybe twice, and when that shit goes on and you see those numbers rolling, you are a little more aware of what you're saying. I agree 100%. More rapid fire.
Today's show, Rich brought up potentially going to Philly for a work project and flaking out on an invited football gig at his house. You catch that?
I did.
What's your thoughts?
Somebody hit me up and they actually talked to me about this. And Doug, I feel like it is a complete selfish move. That would be cool, right?
Be dope
if he didn't have plans already, right?
Right.
And that's the only thing that and like they were saying, I'm not saying don't consider it, but at the same time know that you might.
I'm not even saying don't go.
Exactly, right? But understand you're going to be kind of it's a little dicky. It's a little dicky to be like
dicky do.
Hey, you know what? Fucking Kukui, you're gonna come to the pad. Luis can come to the pad. We're gonna say we're single, right? We're gonna have all these bitches here. They're gonna be butt naked. Everybody's gonna get in BJ's, right? And then I'm like,
Taco
oh,
truck.
hey, you know what? Actually, my bad. I'm gonna go to the game. I'd be like, and Rich was like, well, none of these people had plans and shit. Dog, but what if they turned down
They did
plans?
now, you dumb motherfucker. You
Yeah.
gave them plans. They did. And now you're yank. Okay, so stop right there. You're right. You know what's worse about that? You're right.
You would never get this.
They did have plans. You gave them plans. And you know what you did? You said, give me that shit back. I'm going to the game, bitches. Now y'all ain't got no plans no more.
Yeah, that is, see, that's the thing, Doug, that's kind of fucked up, is that now they had plans. How many plans did they turn down? And what about just good old fashioned loyalty and keeping your word?
Right. I mean,
What happened to that? That out the fucking window?
well, just don't be a dick and act like it's no big deal. Like I won't even say that. I don't agree if he goes.
And
if
I don't
he
even
goes,
I don't want him to even fake that he's upset. But Doug, I mean, actually be a little kind of like upset. Actually have
just
a
be
little
compassionate.
Exactly. Actually, I'm not saying I don't want, because I know Rich doesn't feel this way. I know Rich has no compassion when it comes to this. But
I'm not even saying don't go. You can go.
At least
go.
feel like shit a little bit.
Just have some compassion. Be like, you know what, my bad. I'm sorry. This came up. It's the playoffs. It's the NFC Championship game. I get it. We'll understand. Just don't be a dickhead about it, and don't act like, oh, well, sorry. I got these tickets, and you guys didn't have nothing to do anyways. And hey, I'm gonna go.
Look at Doug. This is what I got. Rich is such a rude asshole and literally doesn't see it. And I go, the game thing, like everyone, huh? Yeah, sometimes he comes off like an only child.
For sure.
And then
I'm telling him to go. He should go, but don't act like everybody and I'm entitled to go, and I don't give a shit that I scheduled plans with us at my house first. I mean, cancel them if you need to, but let's not pretend like you didn't organize some shit and now you're not backing out on all the people you invited to your shindig. Because you know what? Had you organized that shit and no one showed up, you would have felt like shit.
100%.
So what's the difference if you cancel?
Yep.
One thing real quick too. This is Rich Davis, Richie Rich, Dickie Doo, Dickie Doodle Dandy,
Richie the Bull,
the Bull,
Mr.
and the horn, and the horn.
Yeah.
Rich said that he can't watch his team at the bar.
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah. I've watched games with like my buddies, like we talk about at least one time a show. Shout out my buddy Luis.
Shout out Luis.
I've been to plenty of bars watching Lakers games with him, Doug. We grew up diehard Lakers fans, and we have plenty of times have been what I remember watching Lakers Celtics finals games at the bar with Luis.
He's going to the wrong bar, because if you go to the right bar that's playing the game that you want to be played, right?
Yeah.
The energy is it's as close as you can get to the parking lot or the stadium of the game without actually being there. And that's a close second for me. Even if I'm at an Applebee's, I don't give a shit if I'm at Chili's, Apple G's, in Texas Roadhouse. If I'm sitting at the bar and in the background they got the game playing and there are multiple people watching that game, whether they're rooting for the team I'm rooting for or they're rooting for the other team, the energy when those people are glued to the television, every play, you can't replace that with Sarah, Ben, and Emmy.
Doug, I wonder if, I don't even know if Luis remembers this, but one time we were at, I'm pretty sure it was a Buffalo Wild Wings, and we were watching a Celtics,
especially at a
Lakers,
Buffalo Wild Wings.
It was Lakers Celtics, and Doug, there was this dude we called Celtics guy because he was wearing a Celtics jersey, and every time they would score, he would be dancing.
His face painted.
He would and we would call him Celtics guy.
Right.
The Lakers ended up winning, and this dude, I remember at the end of the bar was like, I mean, the end of the game was like, oh, and his tail between his ass, like, oh, this, you know. But see, it's so fucking funny because that atmosphere, dog. Everybody, he was diehard about his Celtics. We were fucking diehard Lakers, right? I think Luis might have been wearing his Kobe jersey. I don't remember, but I remember we were going hard.
Hey, if you would have had that dictionary and shit jotted down, you would have remembered. Photo bucket like Rich's pops.
See, that's why I got to go back and find pictures. Oh, you know what? Real quick though, one thing that Rich said that I thought was kind of a little peculiar, Doug, is because I don't have pictures like this, but when he was talking about this journal, he goes, because think about it, you probably take at least like one picture every day.
Of my khaki.
I do not. I have days, Doug. I have days and days with no pictures.
Oh, I take pictures
every day,
even of stupid shit. Yeah, I mean, it's a way of life, bro. I take pictures of fucking credit card statements if I'm going to call them later from the sauna and I'm alone. Like I take pictures of fucking
but of your credit card statement
or whatever.
Not of like in the way Rich was saying it was like he takes a picture of like his kids or what he's doing every day.
Oh, I don't do no.
See, like today I took a picture. I did take a picture today of some notes that I had taken by hand. Took a picture of them so I could upload into the Microsoft OneNote. But that's not. I'm not gonna. You know what I'm saying?
I don't take no.
That's not a picture of like my kid or you know.
Again, Bill Syverson said your brain only has so much hard drive, and one thing I focus on in life is not to fill it up with bullshit.
Shout out to Bill Cyberspace for that, dog. That's cool.
Cyberton.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Cyberspace. But you think about it though. Your brain really only has so much memory, and don't you want the important memories to stick around? Yeah. You can't flush out good ones because you want to memorize a shopping list from Marshall's.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I feel you. I do.
But do you?
I do. You know what else?
No, I got more shit.
What? You said no. You know what else?
No, I got more shit.
All right, let's hear it.
And I'm passionate. I'm a teppanyaki fan, and it fucking breaks my heart and puckers my hole to fucking know that Cavino went to a teppanyaki place where they did not do the onion volcano. What was that shit all about, man? And where the fuck did he go? Was that in a strip dive somewhere? Like, how do they not do the volcano? That's bullshit. I'm enraged. I'm pissed.
Is teppanyaki where a bunch of dudes stand around a chick and nut on her?
No.
What's that called?
I don't know. Bukkakis.
Oh, okay. I was close. Teppanyaki?
No, teppanyaki is where they cook the shit in front of you, usually about 4 to 6 wide and 2 to 4 each on the end. And you guys are around a stove, and homeboy does tricks, and he calls it fucking flying egg roll, where he flips the eggs in the air and the garlic and
that's called a teppanyaki?
Yeah.
I never knew that had a name. I was like, oh, that place they do cool shit.
Called teppanyaki. That's the style of cooking.
Teppanyaki?
And the volcano is one of it. They slice the onions up. They go from fucking big to fucking small. Boom, boom, boom. They stick fucking oil in it. They fucking light the bullshit and they fucking volcano it. Like that's part of the show. There's no sidestepping it. So I don't understand. Yeah, no, Cavino's right.
Teppanyaki. You're right.
That's some bullshit. That's my favorite food, and for them not to do that volcano, that pisses me off.
Teppanyaki. No, you know what? I think if you're at a teppanyaki and you get the cream of some young guy, and they don't have the
don't get that.
They don't have the. Don't get what?
The cream of some young guy. Yeah, nobody, bro. What kind of phase are you on?
I'm not getting shit, dog. Spot told me he went to this teppanyaki place. They had the cream of some young guy, and he said it was delicious. So I just was like, Spot used to be a chubby dude. Maybe this is good.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I don't got nothing else for you.
Nothing else. Let me see if I have anything. Have you started The Last of Us?
I have.
Yeah.
It's 2 episodes, right?
Yeah. Have you watched them both?
Kinda.
What does that mean?
I mean, it means what it means. I mean, I don't know, man. I can't stay off TikTok or my phone. I mean, they just don't captivate me where I'm like, I can't not do other shit.
I'm 3/4 through the first one, so that should say something too.
Same thing or what?
Because I was about halfway through it, and then again I picked up my phone. And I was like, I'm gonna watch a couple of TikToks real quick.
Yeah, dude.
I was like, dog, ain't nothing really happening right here. I'm like, all right, they fucking
boring ass shit.
Right.
The show was boring to me. I don't know.
I was like, they woke up 20 years later. Cool. I was like, hold on. Oh wait, hold on. Mitch Hedberg is saying something funny. He's like, oh fuck. 20 minutes have gone by. Oh, let me rewind this shit. So I did that a couple of times. So I'm like 3/4 through the first episode. I don't hate it. But I'm gonna try to. I mean, I heard episode 2.
I don't like it.
I don't hate it.
I mean, it's not BMF. Have you seen BMF yet?
Nope.
Oh, bro, it's season 2. Bro, help me understand something.
Huh?
Why do you take the time to watch some bullshit ass, boring ass shit like This Is Us or End of Us, or whatever that fucking bullshit ass? Me and you both can't even watch it. When I'm over here ranting and raving about a shit, I'm telling you, BMF is the shit. It's season 2. This shit is dope. Why are you trying to watch that whack ass fucking bullshit when you got activities?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, Doug. I was curious. I was a huge Walking Dead fan for a good 3 seasons.
Me too.
So I'm like, if this is like the new Walking Dead,
this shit's corny.
If this is the new Walking Dead, then all right, then maybe I'll dig it. So the only difference I could tell you is from The Walking Dead episode 1, I was fucking in. Mm-hmm. I was fucking in 100%, Doug. But then again, this is before TikTok.
What shows that TikTok fucked a lot of shit up because you get instant gratification. You ain't got to spend an hour of your shit to be cool for 10 minutes. Yeah. You can boop, you just flip right up. Boop. Mm-hmm. Oh, really? This motherfucker's boring. Boop. And you just scroll. Ready? Make a TikTok. Boop. Mm-hmm. Oh, this shit's tight. Yeah.
That's everybody during TikTok scrolling, huh?
So what shows you watching right now?
I just watched that fucking Hatchet fucking Axe dude documentary. I like that shit a lot. That one about that dude they call fucking they call him Kai. He fucking murdered somebody with a fucking axe or a hatchet or some shit.
And what's that on? What platform?
Netflix.
Okay.
So he fucking that was a good ass documentary.
All right.
I watched that 90s show. I don't hate it.
Dope?
It's not. It's all right.
I'm gonna stay away from it then.
The first episode or 2 are kind of really, they're trying really hard, but as the season goes on, it's okay. I mean, I like it. They have cameos from Eric, Donna, Red, and Kitty are the main characters. Bob comes out, and Fez is one of the main characters. And yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's all right. It's all right. It's not terrible. The first episode or 2 are kind of bad, but then it gets all right.
All right.
I'll stick with it. Other than that, those are probably the only 2 things I've watched recently.
I'm still fucking with The Neighborhood.
Yeah, I fell off of that too, and I enjoyed it.
They got some new shit coming up. I won't spoil it. No spoiler alert over here, but
I think I watched the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, that one's cracking right now. Mm-hmm. What else am I watching? You see the Lamar versus the Kardashian shit on TMZ's?
Nah, I want to see that though.
That was another thing I was gonna point out. Rich is all in that TMZ shit. I've been on that TMZ shit for about 5 years now because TMZ always knows the tea.
Truth.
They do.
The truth.
They do. Well,
It should be called Truth MZ.
Or the close enough version of it.
Yeah. Well, like,
right?
Doug, like the way I have it set up on my phone is I get alerts, and it's usually only like when somebody dies and shit. So it'll be like Lisa Marie Presley dead at 53, you know? I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, they're at least a more credible version of like the National Enquirer or the Sun. Remember when the tabloids and shit? I remember when I used to work at Albertsons back in the day, we'd go drop a deuce when we were working on night crew. We take the tabloid in there and read the mother front to back. And TMZ is like today's version of the tabloid, but they're even like a little more correct even than that.
Well, Doug, I remember there was I think that there was even an episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where they took a picture of Jay Leno like emptying coffee or something. And they were going to sell it to like the National Enquirer as like Jay Leno dumping oil in a trash can or some shit. That's really how it was. I think TMZ is a lot more credible than that shit.
Well, and that was another thing too. Me and Columbus actually got into this fucking I got a question for you. So the tabloids, you know they're going to show up, right?
Yeah.
You know they're going to take pictures. Don't you think it's better if you know, like, say you're Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Right now, Larsa Pippen with Michael Jordan's son. You're Selena Gomez. You're one of these famous ones, right? And you're worried about them getting your picture. Like, you don't want man, I can't go nowhere. I can't go nowhere without the fucking paparazzi.
All they do is bitch and moan inside
showing up, taking your shit, right? Don't you think it would be better if you were just in cahoots? And you already knew these motherfuckers were going to show up anyways, right? You knew. They know you. You're Britney. You're Jay-Z. You're Diddy. Like, they're going to figure it out. Someone's going to tell them they're going to be there. So it's kind of like them girls that say, you know, you got my nudes. I'm going to put them out before you can make money off them. I'm going to put them out. Why wouldn't you do the same thing if you were famous? Hey, I'm Diddy. I'm calling TMZ. I'm calling all the paparazzis. I'm going to be here at this time. Check me out. But I want you to pay me first if you want the exclusive. And capitalize on that shit. Be dressed to impress.
I'm sure there's a lot that do.
Be dressed to impress. Be hella fly. Like, every time you went out, sell the exclusive right for the first pick to someone every time you left the crib. If they were already trying to get there and send people out and pay them for the pictures anyways, why wouldn't they pay you extra for the right to be the first person with the scoop to take them?
Do you remember that time like 5 years ago, you and I were single and shit? 10 years ago, I don't remember when it was. We went out to Nobu. We had them bitches with us. And when we came out, they had TMZ there taking pictures of us. They're like, Kukui, D, after show, but later. And we were like, no. How do you?
And they paid us $5 each first before that even happened.
Exactly, Doug. But people thought that shit was real, right? People thought, oh man, they caught the.
It was
they don't
scripted.
Know. We got the flow before that shit even happened. And then the bitches that were
rehearsed. We rehearsed. You know how many times we were like, hey, check it out, D. Boom, 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 boom. We rehearsed that shit.
Yeah. But Doug, that's what I'm saying. It happens all the time. That's why I don't know why you're so surprised.
I just don't think anyone's as clever as we are.
That's what I'm saying.
My bad.
After show, but later. Episode number 165. Your boys D and El Kukui. El Kukui, you got any parting words for the fucking people?
I got a good buzz. Thanks for hanging in there with me on this episode.
I'm never hanging in you, Doug. I'll tell you that much.
No one is. No one hangs in me. They can hang around me, but they can't hang in me.
After show, but later. Episode number 165. Hit us up on all social media at AfterShowBL.
Later.
Yeah. If you guys ever want to come and do a segment, hit us up. We'll fucking have you guys on. Covino and Rich had a guest this week. That was cool. So if you want to be a guest on here,
that was dope.
Hit us up after show, but later. Check us out. Share it with your friends. Watch us on YouTube. Listen to us. All that shit. And share it with your friends. We will see you guys in episode number 166. Baseline Trey, take us out. Let's go. On the road.
ode to the riches, cause it's all about the paper. Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease your soul, grab a spliff and start burning. Relax with us and take a trip to the heavens. And come and spend a day in the 757. Hydro.